Previously, I've talked about the protagonists in the Pokemon anime. Now in part 2, I talk about, you guessed it, ladies and gentle Pokemon fans, Team Rocket. I'm pretty sure you folks are familiar with these villains, right? First, we'll start with Jessie, a member of Team Rocket. She's a drama queen.
What did you just call me?
Yeah, you heard what I said. Anyway, her hair is shaped like a whip, has a diabolical temper, she's named after a famous outlaw, Jesse James, and her voice in Japanese is done by Megumi Hayashibara, who you know her as the voice of female Ranma from Ranma 1/2 and younger Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho, and in the English dub, Rachel Lillis and Michelle Knotts. Next we have James, another member of Team Rocket. He has bluish-purple hair, always carries a rose, and his voice in Japanese is done by Shin Ichiro Miki, and in the English dub, Ed Paul, known as Ted Lewis, who voiced Bakura and Bandit Keith on Yu-Gi-Oh!, S. Cargoon on Kirby Right Back At Ya. He also voiced on Ultimate Muscle, Fighting Foodons, and Slayers. His second voice was done by Eric Stewart, and his third voice, Jimmy Zopi. Later in the anime, Jessie and James become more serious and successful in the Unova region. Next you got their rivals, Cassidy, an agent of Team Rocket. She's extremely arrogant, vain, conniving, has a snobbish attitude and belittling remarks. She shares a rivalry with Jessie, also has purple eyes, orange hair with pigtails, reminds me of Usagi Tsukino from Sailor Moon, plus a pair of triangular pink earrings. But unlike Jessie and James, both Cassidy and her partner are more competent and successful. Her Japanese voice is provided by Masako Katsuki, in the English dub Megan Holling-Shayed, her second voice Andy Whaley, who is the voice of Karina Bucksworth from Mew Mew Power, and her third voice Emily Williams. Then there's... what was his name again? Bob, Bud, Buzz, Benson, Brandon... I think his name was Benson. Wait. Oh yeah, I think I remember now. His name is Botch.
The name is Butch.
Mario, if you please.
Whatever.
Thank you. Now listen here, buddy. I don't care what your name is. I don't care how you pronounce it. So just shut the f*** up so that I can tell the audience about you. Geez, you sound like Baxter Stockman from Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 'cause that's who you're sounding like to me. Anyway, folks, this guy is another agent of Team Rocket. He has purplish brown eyes, short green hair, he's quiet, fairly intelligent, quite masculine compared to James, who is more feminine, appears to be the tough type, also slightly arrogant, shares a bitter rivalry with James, and the way he talks, he has this undoubtedly raspy, rough, gravelly voice. That does sound familiar, right, folks? Do we know a certain character who has a raspy voice?
With Captain N leading us, we'll have the mega power to win. What do you say,
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. His Japanese voice is provided by Takahito Koyasu, and in the English dub Eric Stewart and Jimmy Zopi. And last, this brings us to Giovanni, the head of Team Rocket. I'm sure you folks know about this character, right? In the early episodes of this anime, he never revealed his face, and the way he talks, he has this distorting voice which you're familiar with. If not, then allow me to refresh your memory.
I'm totally disgusted watching you fail me when I expect total perfection. Perfection like this beautiful Persian.
You know what? Do you know who this guy reminds me of?
Welcome, Gadget. Enjoy your brief stay.
Later in the anime, he finally reveals himself in the episode Battle of the Badge, and his voice in Japanese is done by Hirotaka Suzuoki, and in the English dub provided by Ted Lewis and Craig Blair. Well, that wraps up part 2, but don't go away, Pokemon fans. Stay tuned as I talk about the anime.